So you see how that works? You show up in a country uninvited, you break that country's laws. In getting there, you show total contempt for that country's culture and law, and then the authorities reward you with something better than the people who live in that country and pay taxes get. Okay, it's a humiliation exercise, obviously. And it's not just happening here. In the village of Tintagel, that's in Cornwall, Great Britain, the British government is demanding that hotels house illegal aliens called asylum seekers. The owner of the Camelot Castle Hotel, which is a very famous place in Great Britain, says that he's been offered £1 million by the government to house these migrants for a year. We thought that was an interesting story. We'd like to talk to him, and now we are. John Mappin is the owner of the Camelot. Mr. Mappin, thanks so much for joining us. So £1 million, I mean, you're an innkeeper in the end. It's a pretty grand inn, but that's your job. Why wouldn't you take the money?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, when I first heard about it, I thought it was a joke. So I called the company myself, but it was a bona fide offer. My concern was initially that these asylum seekers would trash the hotel, and obviously Camelot Castle, it sits at the birthplace of King Arthur. It's a very historic location. But what was shocking was that the person that was an agent for the government said, "Oh, don't worry, just take photographs of the rooms, and if the hotel is trashed in any way, well, the government will pay for the entire refurbishment of it." Well, of course, that's not government money; that's taxpayers' money. Philosophically, I'm completely opposed to the idea. And although for a sort of a fleeting second you think, well, it was a very generous offer. But, this is, people talk about cultural destruction. And what happens is that such an activity would completely destroy the local community. They expected us to lay off most of our staff. Many of our staff have worked with us for, many, many years. Some of them are elderly. When you change the economy of a local village in England, like Tintagel, which is a countryside village, and you have in excess of 100 of these asylum seekers who don't understand British culture, coming into the area, of course, it would completely disrupt the local community. So personally, I am completely philosophically opposed, and my personal view is that this is deliberate cultural destruction.
Yes, and that's exactly right.
Yeah, and it was shocking. They just expected us to lay off all of our staff. I think they said, well, you need to keep 3 staff on. I mean, to give you an idea, it'd be akin to President Biden putting up illegal immigrants in the Waldorf Astoria in New York. It's that type of an outrage. And I must say, I decided to go public on the story because I sincerely can see that this is actually happening all over Britain. And I said at the time, well, obviously, some hoteliers are going to take the money because, this government is running things in such a way that the economy is very tough over here. So some people are going to take the money. And sure enough, I've been getting emails in from all over England from people saying, my gosh, these people have come into our town. Obviously, culturally, if you have people from a different community, it's a different effect, and it destroys the community.
Of course. Well, as you pointed out, bravely and so fluently destroying the culture is exactly the point of the exercise. Exactly. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate your coming on and saying that. John Mappin, God bless you.
Thank you, Tucker.
You might recall that last year we spoke to an entrepreneur called Ariadna Jacob. She told us that she lost her business because of lies written by